you know, I guess a couple of months ago, my nephew was feeling sick, and let me
killed him.
Hold on. My nephew's 9 years old, and let me set the stage. My sister and my brother-in-law live in an upstairs apartment with my nephew, and that was the house my grandmother used to live in. She passed like 20 years ago. So he was sick. He went to bed early. It was like 8:00 at night.
How old is he? Sorry.
He's 9.
Okay.
So he went to bed early, really early. My sister and my brother-in-law were in the living room. I wasn't there, but I heard the story. I wanted to just repeat it. Said my sister was like, all of a sudden, like Lucas gets out of bed. He's around 9:00, and he goes, "Did you just came in the room? Like, mom, you just came in the room to like, what do you want?" And then my sister's like, "I didn't come in the room. I've been sitting here the whole time. Go to sleep. You're having nightmare. You're having dreaming. You're dreaming. Go back to bed." He thought that she came into the room and then walked back out, but just the two of them are in the apartment watching TV, and he's the one in the bed. So fast forward to the next morning, my sister goes to check on him, and he says to her, what was it? Grandma came to see me in the middle of the night, and grandma was making sure I was okay. And grandma was like feeling my head. And my sister was like, "That's impossible. Like, that's her grandmother. Grandma would be my mother. My mother was home." So he mistook, because he never met my grandmother, which is his great grandmother. He mistook the fact that the ghost that is my grandma is still living in the house, and because he was sick, was watching him overnight. He comes into I'm getting chills like talking about it because it's my family. You guys might not feel anything, but it's kind of cool though that he claims he wasn't dreaming. He says, no, it was grandma, meaning my mother. But my mother looks exactly like my grandmother did when she was here. So he associates that as grandma. And it was just weird. I don't know. It never happened again. It was just that one time. He swears up and down that he wasn't dreaming, and that, he was describing like physical things, like she took my temperature, like, she put the covers on me. Like, what are you talking about? This did not happen. This can't be. But I think it's kind of cool in a weird way because, it's like my grandma's still there at the house. She never left.
So to him, it wasn't like a different person. Like he was.
No, he was comfortable with it because he thought that my mother, which is his grandmother, came over at night and was like,
So it wasn't scary for him. It was like a comforting presence.
It was comforting. Yes. It was not scary. So I guess that doesn't, it's paranormal activity, but it's not exactly frightening. But.
No, that
That's
counts.
fair. That's good. Yeah.
So, and your sister and brother-in-law are on board. Like they believe that this was the ghost of your grandmother. Absolutely.
Definitely. They, without a doubt. I mean, because first of all, they never went in to go check on him earlier in the night.
Bad parents.
He was like seeing things. I don't know what he thought because it was dark, whatever. And then he just heard somebody come into the room and then walk out. And then that's when he got up and he thought it was my sister. And then later, but the next morning it was confirmed. He goes, no, grandma was with me all night. I feel better. I feel better today. I feel better this morning. He had a fever and whatever. It was sick, but my sister couldn't explain it to him. She just knew. She was okay. Obviously, my mother was home sleeping in her house. She was not over the apartment. So it was, we just all agree that that's what it was.
Has anybody else ever had like an experience with like feeling your grandmother's presence or seeing her?
My sister says occasionally she does feel that's the case, but she's never showed herself. She's never been like, I'm still here. There was never any of those moments, but there was no like trickery or like, you're unplugging a TV or some unexplained things falling. And so the friendly ghost,